Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
What was the reason that the landlord gave you for the eviction?
I had too many cats, Your Honor.
Okay. Where does the harassment come in?
Sure. So I would say about,
Sure.
a month
Let's
after.
do it.
Let's light this candle.
In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. Stop. Is that true? I don't want you to understand. I want you to overstand.
Yes, sir.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. That's not gonna happen. Not up in here, not today. And boom goes the dynamite.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Tina Daniels claims her neighbor was evicted for having too many cats and says the feline fanatic caused her allergies to spike by sneaking back to feed the strays.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
Ms. Daniels is suing Nita Lewis in the amount of $10,000.
All parties have been sworn, Your Honor.
Third Deputy Thomas. Ms. Daniels, you're not happy.
I'm here today because my former neighbor, Nita Lewis, for harassment. She was
She's harassing you.
She's harassing me, correct.
And how is she harassing you?
Well, our landlord evicted her because she had too many cats in her apartment. So he had asked her either.
Is that true?
No, Your Honor, it was not true. I had the
Were you
right amount of.
evicted?
I was evicted, Your Honor.
What were you evicted for?
I was evicted because of the cat situation, but it was really because she had a problem with me.
Okay, but we're talking about the landlord evicted you.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what was the reason that the landlord gave you for the eviction?
He said I had too many cats, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Where does the harassment come in?
Sure. So I would say about,
Sure.
a month
Let's
after.
do it.
Let's light this candle. A month
Oh, I like that. Let's
after-
light this candle.
A month,
You know I'm gonna steal that.
A month to 2 months after Miss Lewis was out of the apartment,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
saw her by the apartment complex with cat food to feed the strays. Now, besides the fact of her...
Hold on, Nellie. I know you got a lot to tell me. And did you find yourself back at the location feeding other cats?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Why were you at the location after you've been evicted feeding stray cats?
Well, Your Honor, I had been caring for these cats before I was evicted, and
these cats were yours?
I was taking care of them as if they were my own. They were born under the
You were no
building.
longer at the location.
Just because I was evicted doesn't mean I'm going to stop caring about the cats that I was taking care of.
But then there's somebody else now living there, and if that was part of the reason that you were asked to leave involuntarily, clearly, because you didn't want to leave.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. How far away did you have to move once you were evicted?
I only moved a few blocks away, Your Honor. I
You were
still
still
live
in
in
the
the
neighborhood.
neighborhood, absolutely.
And I take it you found yourself still being compelled to deal with these cats.
Yeah, I love these cats, Your
Okay.
Honor.
The issue that you have is she's no longer your neighbor, but the problem still exists.
Yes, Your Honor. And also, I'm allergic to
what is the landlord
cats.
doing about that?
So I have, if you want to see, I have,
Of course.
I'll shake everything you want to
yeah, I have a lot of evidence, Your
She's got
Honor.
a lot.
He has a lot.
Ooh, I don't know if I like the sound of that when she says a lot.
This is probably the heaviest folder I've ever given.
Why are you telling? Oh, it is. Oh my God, you do have a lot. Let's start with these messages. I'm emailing to file a complaint. Who is that?
The landlord. Darren is the landlord.
You're Tina.
Yes.
Saying to Darren.
I put my initial complaint letting him know that Miss Lewis had more than 2 cats in her home.
Okay. And that she was also, and you paid the pet deposit fee for the 2 pets.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. She has 5 cats. Now, you said you only had 2.
I do have 2 cats, Your Honor. 3 of them
Did
were
those 2 cats come with you when you moved a few blocks away?
Yes, they did, Your Honor.
And what about the other 3?
The other 3 were living there, so that's where they live.
They were in her house.
They lived inside, but you're
They
no
live
longer...
under the building. They live under and
Oh, I
around
see
the
what you're
building.
saying. That's what you're describing as they
Yes, Your
live.
Honor. Yes.
Okay. So you go back and forth, and then I'm looking at, what is this I'm seeing? This is
Those are the photographs of
Miss
her.
Lewis.
Yeah, you can turn the page
Feeding.
and you'll see the timestamps to see that she was already not living in the apartment complex when she was still returning back. to
She's
feed the
not
cats.
disputing that she no longer lived there, but continued to come back and feed the cats. I mean, I see the pictures of her providing some sort of sustenance for these animals. And I see your date stamps. You're very, I like what I'm seeing with you.
Coming up on America's Court.
I know people think cats are people. They're not. They're property. They're like, you know, a table.
Well, I guess that's where we differ.
Well, that's a problem for you.
And later,
And I assured her that the sharks that we would be with were very docile. And I actually looked over to her while we were down there. And no.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Tina Daniels, who is suing Nita Lewis for harassment.
Now, what is this from
So
Dr.
I didn't get
Sanger?
to tell you that I'm allergic to cats. And I have a letter from my doctor saying that I have an allergy for cats. And then I also have a letter from my psychologist saying how her feeding these stray cats in front of my doorstep when I am severely allergic, Your Honor. I have proof showing that this isn't just me lying. This is factual.
I see the letter from Dr. Pruitt.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know she was allergic to cats?
She mentioned it, Your Honor, but I was allowed to have cats in the apartment. My lease allowed me to have cats.
Okay, until it didn't.
Well, until I was evicted, Your Honor.
Right,
The
because
lease
of
was
cats.
never changed.
Because of cats. We already established
well,
that.
yes.
This person is telling you, have you had this conversation with Ms. Lewis?
Multiple times.
I'm allergic to cats and I have an impact from a medical standpoint. And would you please stop doing this because it's impacting me?
But by saying do this, you mean get rid of my pets for her? I'm
You
not
don't
going
live
to do
there
that.
anymore.
Well, that's why I took my cats with me, Your Honor.
Right, so then,
But while I was
so
living
take
there,
care
I
of
was-
the cats that where you live now, but these cats that you are feeding that are stray are impacting her health.
they're still there whether I'm involved or not, Your Honor. I'm just looking
They're
after
not
them.
going to stay there, however, if they stop being fed.
I guess, Your Honor, I didn't feel like I had ownership of these cats. I felt like these were living creatures that I did feel like I cared for
But
and
you didn't
wanted
have
to.
a problem with owning 2 of them. So
5.
if you own 2, why not add 3 more?
Well, for one thing, my lease only allowed me to have 2 cats in the
You're
apartment.
not there anymore, but you're going back to the location. If you're going back to the location, why not just take the cats with you if you're concerned about their safety, their well-being, their ability to be fed, and their ability to be taken care of? I don't
guess
see
I
what's so
just-
complicated about that.
I guess I just sort of believe that that's where the cats live, and it wasn't really my place to just sort of take them from where they
But
were.
it's your place to continue feeding them, which is aiding the discomfort that a fellow human being. I know people think cats are people. They're not. They're property. They're like, you know, a table. I mean, we have feelings that we associate with them. But cats and dogs and other animals have a different pecking order as it relates to human beings.
Well, I guess that's where we differ.
Well, that's a problem for you. All right, so the bottom line is this: what is $10,000? Why that amount?
The
Why not
emotional
20? Why not
distress,
2?
The emotional distress, that's even my psychologist agrees.
Okay, and how is that manifesting? So you're having to go to...
Anxiety, depression.
Okay, wait, I didn't... And are you on any medication?
Oh, we're doing talk therapy as one of the treatments. If you look on the second page, it shows the treatments that we're going to be doing.
Me taking care of a couple cats doesn't affect you. It doesn't
Okay.
Yes, it does. I have that.
But
I'm talking about
what I'm
emotional
trying to
distress, not
understand
even
is
allergy. How
why
it affects me.
$10,000 is such a generic number. I know in California the maximum is $10,000.
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do with it?
Well, besides the max,
Like if
I
I'm
really...
gonna go to court
You gotta go
and
big,
provide
Your
the judge
Honor.
with a
Yeah.
whole volume of
Yeah.
information, I
Yeah.
want $10,000.
And she cares more about the environment and animals more than she cares about her neighbor.
I got it. She's not your neighbor
100%.
anymore.
She didn't care. After she moved, she still came back. It's like vindictive in the way that, you know, Can you have the same heart you have for animals?
So what's the conversation regarding the landlord and essentially having a trespass filed against her?
That is the next step, Your Honor.
Okay, and that conversation has already been held with the landlord?
Verbally, yes.
Okay, and what actions have been taken?
He said if she comes back again, then he is going to call the police on her.
Okay, and at this point, he has not called the police even though he knows this is going on?
Yes.
And what are your options besides just staying there?
Well, that's where the 10 grand comes in, because I just want to move from this whole situation.
Okay. Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel is going to come down in favor of the defendant. You don't have a case against her. You got a case against your landlord, because your landlord is putting you in a situation where he or she is not acting, and it's preventing the use and enjoyment of your property. She's no longer a tenant.
Although she's still a problem.
But the problem as it pertains to the landlord, because if the landlord knows that she's a problem and isn't doing anything about it, and that's the contractual agreement you have with the party, you have no agreement as it relates to her. She's just, it would be the equivalent of someone, well, not necessarily the equivalent, because again, we're talking about human beings, but let's just say there was someone homeless, and your neighbor was constantly feeding that homeless person, and you felt concerned about your safety for whatever reason. You don't have the relationship with the homeless person to say, you better not be here anymore. You would go to the landlord and say, you either do something about this situation or I'm out. And I would be justified, and if I take you to court, I'm going to win. You're suing the wrong person.
I will be back.
Your matter's dismissed. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
I am appreciative of the judge for making the right decision in this case, and I'm glad that I don't ever have to see you again.
And I just wish you cared about human beings as much as you care about the environment, cats, dogs.
Coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
And then after you made that sign,
yes,
what did she do?
She disappeared.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. Shannon Forrest claims she was surrounded by sharks while scuba diving with her boyfriend and says she was injured after he ignored her distress signal. Ms. Forrest is suing Dennis Roeder in the amount of $1,375.
You can't go scuba diving anymore.
Sadly.
Sadly, it was something that you actually enjoyed doing.
Yes, I was really starting to.
And as a result of what took place, you're suing Mr. Roeder. You want him to pay you $1,375.
Yes, I'm indeed here because I am suing my now ex-boyfriend, Dennis.
How long were the two of you in a relationship?
A year.
Okay, and the issue was the sharks.
It was.
Mr. Roeder, what was the story with the sharks?
I assured her that the sharks that we would be with were very docile. In fact, sir, I actually looked over to her while we were down there. And no. You know what she was doing? This.
Okay.
She was doing that.
This is the signal to go up.
Hold on. He interpreted it as thumbs up, I'm having a great time.
Moving, however.
You're saying that meant, because you're not in dispute with each other. You're both saying this was going on,
But
and you were like, I need to go up.
Yes.
And then after you made that sign,
yes,
what did she do?
She disappeared. I kept going down. Yeah, she went up.
Okay, so what she's saying is consistent with her actions of, and then at some point as you're going up, what happens?
As I'm going up, I'm pretty panicked, so I'm going up fast. By the time that I hit the surface, I'm starting to feel this really piercing pain in my right ear.
And that's the issue, the pain that resulted from that experience.
Yeah, from the barotrauma that actually occurred.
And you have a witness here.
I do.
Ma'am, step forward. And your last name?
Benters, Dr. Benters.
Dr. Benters, okay, you fancy, all right. So why is Dr. Benters here?
So Shannon came to see me because after going to her trip in Belize, she underwent emergency surgery.
Right.
Now,
you didn't perform that surgery?
I didn't.
Okay.
No, she got that in Belize.
Coming up on America's Court.
See, this is why I went to law school and did not study any of this, because you're talking and it's just going right over my head.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Shannon Forrest, who is suing Dennis Roeder for medical expenses.
So she has the surgery in Belize, and then you end up having a conversation and a consultation with her.
Yes.
And did you find some sort of hearing loss?
Yes, absolutely. She did have a mild hearing loss.
Okay.
Also, a lot of pain in her right ear.
And what's your professional opinion as to what was the cause of her circumstance?
So based upon my observation, I did notice that she have middle ear barotrauma. Now, if you don't know what middle ear barotrauma is whenever a diver descends, it causes inner ear to have a reduction of space.
Okay.
Now, in her case, she ascended far too quickly, which caused her to have the middle ear barotrauma and have to undergo the surgery in Belize.
See, this is why I went to law school and did not study any of this, because you're talking and it's just going right over my head.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're here. But what you're saying makes sense to me. The bottom line is she went up too fast.
Yeah.
But she knew to be
I'm
slow.
not talking to you right now. The issue is she went up too fast. There was a consequence to that.
Absolutely.
And is she still... Are you still treating her at this point?
So I just gave her some pain meds, and I did let her know that she's no longer to scuba dive anymore.
And you were saying something about the pressure on the plane.
Correct. I've been experiencing mild pressure now every time I fly as well. So I think that I have to take pain medication before I get on a flight.
And I know he's just chomping at the bit, and I've already told him, slow your roll. Just because I'm not looking at you doesn't mean I don't see you. So and Doctor, thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Everything you're saying to me makes sense. Why is Mr. Roeder responsible for you ascending too quickly and then having to pay for your medical costs?
He assured me he will look after me, and he did not.
Okay. You're saying that he did not come through on a promise to look after you.
Correct.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel has to come down in favor of the defendant. There was no duty to exercise a reasonable duty of care based on what you just described, because if you're underwater, this can mean more than one thing.
It was an obvious sign going up,
It's
not
an
just
obvious
this.
sign to, hey, I'm having a good time.
That's right.
Or it's an obvious sign, I'm going up because I'm in distress. You have the burden as the plaintiff to convince the court based on a preponderance of the evidence, which means at least 51%. And in that moment, without more, I have to give the benefit of the doubt to Mr. Roeder. Your matter is dismissed.
Thanks.
Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
Clearly, we're focusing a little too much on the ABCs of what's by the book.
This individual did not want to take responsibility or accountability of her own actions, and proved.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.